who, that instead of giving that yield to the company that issued the USDC, which is Circle, and the Circle, for example, they have 40 billions in market cap. That means that they have 40 billions or near something like that. They need liquidity ratios, but they have probably 30 billion in treasury bonds. That means they are receiving 5% over the 30 billion, which means they are making billions out of the money that is currently circulating in the market. So instead of having the Circle winning the money, there is some currencies like USDM, which is a stablecoin that allows you to receive some yield over the assets that you have. And you also have CDI, which is also a stablecoin, but a representative of a lending asset that you have. For example, it's a representation that you are lending to other people, DAI, which means that in exchange of you lending money to other people, in this case DAI, you are receiving a CDAI, which is DAI, but basically receiving a yield constantly, which you don't have, which is not the case when you deposit in the bank. You don't receive a representation that is increasing the yield. So we are going to see why that is important, why receiving this CDAI when you deposit in lending protocols is important. But basically, these are the type of stablecoins that is good to have in order to at least mitigate a little bit the risk of inflation that we have with the stablecoins. So the problem with the stablecoins is the failure. That and there is a mistake also. The failure of algorithmic stablecoins is also a huge problem, because if you are depositing your portfolio, a large part of your portfolio in a stablecoin, is because you want to be insured against the volatility. You want to be protected against the volatility. And if the stablecoin does not protect you, that means that you technically lost your investment. And why the algorithmic stablecoins fail? The algorithmic stablecoins, as we saw here in the types of stablecoin, are not backed technically by a full reserve, which means in the USDC, you had, for example, for each USDC, there is a dollar deposit in the Circle, the company that issues the stablecoin. In the case of, for example, UST, which is the most famous one that failed, there was not an asset that was backing that stablecoin. That means that when there was a bank run, in this case, a crypto run, when people started to converting the UST to other assets, to other things, there was not liquidity enough to satisfy the search for the withdrawals. And what that make the UST that was usually pegged to the dollar to depeg, and basically some people lost almost everything. This stablecoin went from $1 to 1 cent. That means that people that had 1 million on this stablecoin just had $10,000 if they hold the UST while it was depegging. That means that the people that thought that they were secured were not, because there was nothing backing the stable coins. And that is the major problem. The major problem of algorithmic stablecoins, even though they have a higher purpose, because they want to disconnect from the real world, they want to create a stablecoin that is stable, but it's not connected to something that can be manipulated by the governments, etc. They want an algorithmic stablecoin that it's not manipulated and that increases in value also. That will be the all grail of stablecoins. But as they were just algorithmic, they just adapted with the demands. They were not able to stabilize, and they were not able to fulfill their commitment with the people that thought that these stable coins were secured. So yeah, basically UST failed because of Luna, which was the issuer of this stablecoin, failed. And many users were attracted to this stablecoin because it was paying 20% a year in yield, and a lot of people fell in debt and lost a lot of money with these algorithmic stable coins. Here we have just an overview of future innovations in DEXs. We talked about stablecoins, we talked about the DEXs. What is the things that we are going to see now with the DEXs? The space is continuously evolving, and Uniswap announced hooks. And what are hooks? Hooks basically will allow, just like in blockchain, you can build any project that you want, anything, any mechanism. Uniswap announced that now you will be able to do the same with the DEX. Basically, you will be able to put normal limit orders in the DEX. You will basically be able to implement certain types you will be able to implement certain types of code together with the all liquidity position values that you have deposits. You basically introduce your own innovations. You as a programmer, if you are, will be able to introduce innovations directly in the pool. Why is this so innovative and we should look forward? This means that we will have very different type of pools. Instead of having pools like we had here and having stable coins being paired with our tokens, that means that you will also have certain type of code that when you do a trade, when you have liquidity, when you withdraw liquidity, will be actioned. And that introduces new features and also new vulnerabilities that we should look for. And also, and that is why I put it here in the end of the stable coins part, these innovations will allow to build certain types of assets that can have a stable value. And these hooks will be integration of stable coins, of DeFi, borrow and lending, and another type of platforms all together. Basically, these hooks will be integration of everything together, and that is highly important. So yield farming, we need to go faster. Yield farming and liquidity provision. Staking, what is staking? The first problem that we had was define a value. Then the second problem was protect against volatility. Then you find stable coins. For the first problem, we had DEXs. Staking is basically a protocol that allows users and that allows protocols to basically prevent users from selling the determined projects. For example, imagine that you are the owner of a project. For example, the OAGM token that we created. And you know that if you do not create some mechanism, people will sell. So you create what? An incentive. And what is this incentive? Basically, the incentive is you deposit tokens in a smart contract, and in exchange of you depositing on that smart contract those tokens, I reward you with a yield. What will this do? Probably you will have to lock, or probably not, but this will make that you will be tempted to not sell those assets because they are increasing. If you have more time, if you have them more time stake, they are increasing. So you are not selling. So basically, it's a game that you are doing with the users where, okay, I give you incentives to not to sell, and you by not selling, the users are protecting the price, and we by creating these incentives are protecting the price because we are pushing the selling for the future instead of just the users buy the token, oh, the price goes down, they sell, etc. No, they deposit here. The probability that they will not sell, it's higher. And that makes the value of the project to at least be a little bit more stable, and there is not so much trading, and it tends to make the project value go up if the project has fundamentals. So we saw staking, and we need to see farming. What is farming? Farming is similar to staking. Basically, in staking, you just created a platform where the users deposit their tokens and were rewarded by tokens to not sell. Farming is similar, but here you are not deposit tokens. You are depositing liquidity positions, which is basically the liquidity that we had here in the liquidity pool. Not in this case, but here in this case, the liquidity that we provided, you receive this 1,000 LP. Remember, this 1,000 LP, the projects, what they do is say, oh, deposit this in a smart contract in our platform, and we will reward you with tokens. Why this is good? Because this will attract people to give liquidity. And if you remember, projects need a lot of liquidity for new investors to enter, which means that if you are providing liquidity and incentivizing liquidity, people will add more liquidity. To add liquidity, you need to buy the token to add liquidity. That means that the price will go up, and after the price go up, after a person buys, they will add liquidity to receive the incentives from adding liquidity. That means they are adding liquidity and protecting the price after the price go up. That means that it's incentivizing basically the project to grow up in value. What are the tricks and the scams and the exploits that can happen here? There was a very popular scam token that many people invested, and they were, I would say, just dumb by investing. It was a token that never falls in value. Basically, they had the algorithm that every time someone bought, the liquidity in the pool, the liquidity in the pool increased because the price of the token increased in value. But when a person sold, what they done is that, remember when here, right here, the trader was selling. Here, the trader was selling the tokens back. You remember, the trader was receiving the USDC back that by selling the tokens of the project. But what this scam token did was that instead of here we returning basically the tokens back to the pool, these tokens are burned, which means they are eliminated from the blockchain, which means that instead of here having 100 tokens of our project, we would continue with 900. But they would also do another thing, that was burning more tokens that are in the pool. In addition to these 100, they will burn more tokens that were in the pool in order to make the price the same. Because if you know, the price is the total of USDC divided by the total of OAGM. What they made is the initial price was $1. The person bought the token, which led the token to $1.22. But then the person wanted to sell, or another user wanted to sell, which will put the token again at $1. But what they did was, by eliminating these tokens, creating a smart contract that eliminates these tokens and eliminates from this pool, what they were doing is basically, okay, the pool has $100 because they cannot eliminate the dollars because it's not issued by them. But the project can mint and can eliminate tokens from the project. What they did was basically they eliminated tokens from the address of the pool, which make the price to stay at $1.22. So the price never got down. The price was always going up because that was the only option. What was the problem of this? The problem of this is that the liquidity in dollars does not change. That means that the price goes up exponentially, but the number of tokens that can redeem the liquidity that is here, it's lower, which means that even though the price increased 10 times, you can only redeem probably 10% of that value, and you can only retrieve 10% of that value. And most people fall on this scam because they created farming in order to attract people, and basically they do not receive the price got up. They received the rewards that are paid in token. Remember, the rewards are paid in token, which the project can mint as they want. And basically the price went up, but there was no liquidity in the pool, and basically the users that bought this token got scammed. That is one huge problem that you need to be aware. Liquidity. I will say liquidity when you are investing in this type of protocols. So another innovative project, and we are seeing always innovative projects, was in staking and farming, you are earning a yield by not selling. But you know that this space has a lot of risk, has a lot of projects that have a lot of risk, but you like to invest in them because probably you can make 10x, 100x, and 1000x in some projects that have low liquidity but are trustable, are just trying to create something but has low liquidity. So one project that really innovated the space was the SCU from nodes. What did they do? Basically, in staking, imagine that you have Ethereum and you deposit your Ethereum staked. You stake Ethereum in order to win a yield. And that yield, instead of going to you, you decide, okay, I'm going to invest this yield in a project. And in exchange of the yield going to the project, you receive the tokens of the project. That means that you are not investing in the project, but you are at the same time investing, but you are investing with your yield. You are not investing with your tokens. You still have your Ethereum that is staked, but just your yield is going to be risked by investing in another project. This is funding the project at the same time that you do not risk your assets. And that is something that we like because we never like to lose our assets, or at least lose ownership of our assets. Okay, DeFi, borrow and lending. What is borrow and lending? Borrow and lending we see at the banks. And when we go to deposit on the bank, what the bank do is through the fractional reserve system that they have, they create money and basically they lend the money to other people, and it's basically that. But in DeFi, you cannot just have uncollateralized loans, which means you can only have collateralized loans. And what is collateralized loans? Basically, to make a loan in DeFi, you need to deposit first $100, for example, and you can only have $70 after you deposit $100. And you say, why the hell do I want to make a loan if I have to deposit a value that is higher to the value of the loan that I can make? Well, there is a lot of answers to that. First, you can hedge against the volatility, because imagine that you have $100 in Ethereum and you think the price of Ethereum is going down for half of it. That means that is going down for $50. What you do, you go to these platforms, you borrow $70 against the collateral that you provide, that is $100 in Ethereum, and basically the price of the Ethereum goes down as you predicted to $50, and instead of you having $50, you have 70 because you borrow against that asset. And instead of paying the loan, you just stay with the $70 because you don't want to pay the loan to retrieve the $50 in Ethereum, because you have $70 in a stable coin that is higher to the $50 of Ethereum. And if you want to get back to Ethereum, you just take the $70 of the stable coin and buy Ethereum in a decentralized exchange. So basically, borrow and lending protocols are just banks where you go to deposit and you can make loans, but collateralized loans. Always remember that. Here it's an overview of how this works. Sorry? Oh, okay. So this is an overview of the project. Basically, here you have Hive, which is a protocol that allows you to borrow and to make borrow and lending. Basically, you have supply here, the amount of that is supplied by every user, all the users. You can see 32 million are deposited in USDC on this platform, and they are paying 2.87% for depositing in halves, which means that you are receiving 2.87% every year by depositing here, plus a bonus of 0.13% in AVAX, which is a bonus token. And if you see, the total borrow is always lower than the amount that you have supplied, because in order to borrow, you need at least you need at least to have a higher amount of supplied value in the total value supplied. But the percentage is higher. Why? Because the value that is borrowed is paying this yield that is going to pay the people that are supplying. So basically what is happening is you are depositing, for example, USDC, Bitcoin in the platform, and they are going to lend to other people. And they are not creating more money just like the banks. No, it's the same money that they have. It's what they are lending. And in return of you depositing, you are receiving a representation token of that deposit. It is an example. You deposit 1 Ethereum, you receive 1 Ethereum. And if you want to borrow, you can only borrow. Imagine that the Ethereum is worth $1,500. You can only borrow 70% of that, or something lower than 70% of that value. And why 70% only? Because you want to protect the protocol, and there needs to be always liquidity in the protocol in order to satisfy the needs to withdraw the assets and deposit the assets. Okay, knowing that these DeFi borrow and lending platforms are very used, as you see, has a lot of liquidity. This is just in the AVAX chain, because Aave has around 7 billion, I think, dollars in assets deposit. What are the platforms in this case? A Portuguese one, IPOR, which is a protocol that allows you to just receive the upfront yield. As you see here, you are receiving 2.87% of yield every year, but you are going to receive only in the end of the year, or during that time you need to wait to receive the full amount. You need to wait at least 1 year, but you don't want to wait 1 year. Why wait 1 year when you have this protocol that makes you just pays you the yield up front, pays you the 2.87%. Imagine that you are depositing $1,000 in the platform, and they just give you $28.70 in value of the yield. But what is the counterpart that you need to understand is that you need to lock at least 1 year the amount that you deposit in Aave in their protocol. So they are receiving your yield. They just basically give you the yield that you were to receive, but in exchange they charge you a 10% of the total yield after 1 year. So basically they give you the yield, you just lock the money for 1 year, and basically you can just borrow again and do other operations in the market with the yield. But basically, instead of having $1,000, you have $1,020 in worth of assets, technically. Flash loans. Flash loans are what I say that are the most innovative thing in the space. Many people say that, okay, DeFi is just a translation of the traditional finance, and there is no innovation in the market. There is no innovation in the space that is made by this kind of protocols that are on DeFi. And flash loans are the thing that really contradict that opinion, because when you go to the bank, if you said, I want to borrow $30 million worth of euros or worth of dollars, what did the bank would say to you? They will say probably you are crazy and you go to some kind of hospital for mental ill people, and just basically like that. With DeFi, you can basically borrow $30 million of assets without any collateral, which means that you can go to Aave, you can borrow $30 million without providing any collateral. You don't need to supply any collateral, and you can use that money to make one operation in the market. For example, you found an arbitrage position that is giving 1% or something like that. You do that operation, you basically have a profit, for example, in this case that is showing in the slide, $5 million. You return the $30 million plus a fee from the platform, and you can stay with the $4 million. Why is this revolutionary? That means that anyone in the world, without having any assets, can borrow $30 million without any collateral, do an operation in the market, return the money that it borrowed from the platform, and win $4 million if they found an arbitrage position that was paying like that. This is one of the potentialities that you do not have in the traditional finance, not something like this. What are the little details that I'm not explaining here? Of course, you cannot take $30 million just like that. This needs to be done in a block operation, which means that you have 12 seconds to do this market operation in order to find this arbitrage position in order to make $4 million or another amount. But the fact that they are leveraging your position and you do not need to pay anything to it, it's amazing, because you only need to pay this fee, this 1 million fee, if you get successful. If your market operation fails, the transaction is reverted, and basically you do not borrow this money. So basically, if you fail, you just pay the blockchain fees, which are just a few cents. If you get successful, you get 4 million or the amount that you profit from this operation. Liquidity staking derivatives and other derivatives. What are these liquidity staking derivatives? Well, with the growth of these stablecoins, algorithmic stablecoins, and with the growth of uncertainty of the value of assets that you saw in farming, that there was a lot of assets that saw liquidity, etc., and the fact that some blockchains were progressing to proof of stake instead of proof of work, that I think you already talked about. Basically, liquidity staking derivatives are a combination of those two worlds colliding. Basically, when proof of stake went from proof of work to proof of stake, instead of you receiving for approving transactions in the network, instead of you having to basically mine the transaction, do that expensive calculations through mining, etc., instead of that, you move to a proof of stake system where basically to approve transactions, you need to deposit a certain quantity of assets. In the case of Ethereum, is 32 Ethereums that you need to deposit. So basically, how the network works is like this. I have 32 Ethereum. I deposit in this platform that is assuring, and I'm assuring all the transactions are correct in the blockchain. And in reward, by approving the transactions, I'm receiving the fees and the benefits from the network from approving that transactions. That means that those 32 Ethereum are technically receiving a yield from approving transactions. And you ask, okay, but if they try to just manipulate the network into introducing false transactions, what they do is that they have a penalty. So the nodes will probably not manipulate the network, because not only they are being incentivized to not do so, but if they do, they are penalized and probably will lose 5 or 10% of what they have. And instead of having 32 Ethereum, they will have, for example, 30 for simplification methods. So, and in exchange, remember, in exchange of providing those 32 Ethereum to approve transactions, they are receiving a yield that comes from fees and from the protocol. And what did people thought? If we deposit 32 Ethereum, is just in that contract is just liquidity and an asset that will be there, but you cannot use it. It's unusable. It's going to be there earning 5%, 4%, but okay, I'm earning 4%, but nothing more. So what liquidity staking derivatives allowed is basically, it's like when you deposit on you receive a representative of that token. Here you are going to receive a representative of that token that you deposit Ethereum on the network, and you are approving transactions. What does this allow? Instead of you just earning 5% of validating transactions, what your liquidity staking derivative, that is the representative token that you deposit on the network, the 32 Ethereum, can be used, for example, in lending in Aave. For example, you can deposit here staking Ethereum earning, for example, more 1%. So instead of you earning just 5% by approving transactions, you are earning 5% plus 1% from doing supply on the platform. So basically, you are just leveraging your position. Instead of you just having 32 Ethereums, you have 64 Ethereums, because you have 32 Ethereums that are deposited in the network and 32 Ethereums that you can use in your day just to do operations, and you don't need to care about the 32 Ethereum that are locked in the network. So basically, you passed from 32 Ethereum to 64 Ethereum technically, which you are earning a percentage of yield. So basically, they allow you to leverage your position, and of course, they take a little commission with that. So some examples of these platforms are Lido, that basically you deposit one Ethereum and they provide one staked Ethereum that you can use in the network in DeFi platforms. But remember, if you lose the staked Ethereum, the representative of the token that you deposit in the network, you are going to lose the Ethereum that you have staked in the network. For example, imagine that you deposit 32 Ethereum on Lido and they gave you 32 ST Ethereum. If you lose, for example, in a trade, half of it, and if you just say with 16 Ethereum, staked Ethereum, that means that you just can redeem only 16 Ethereum that you staked in the nodes in the network. Remember that, always remember that. But it is a good option because it allows you to leverage your position. So now in the middle, in the pause of this session, we were discussing of stablecoins, how to disconnect from the real world, and how to ensure, how to have something that backs the stablecoins and gives some kind of security. And one example is stablecoins that are yield-bearing but are backed by LSTs. So these liquidity staking derivatives, if just like you saw, are basically representatives of the value that is deposited in the network. So what you can do is imagine that you have one staked Ethereum, you can mint just like you did with DAI, where you basically deposit Ethereum and they gave you DAI, which is a stablecoin. You do the same. So basically, you deposit one Ethereum. Let's think that one Ethereum is worth 1.5K dollars. You can just borrow a stablecoin against that LST, which is a highly valuable collateral. That is, for example, Ethereum, that is a high liquid asset. That means that you are backing your stablecoin in an asset that does not depend of the real world. It technically depends because the liquidity with Ethereum is dollar and euro, but technically the value of Ethereum is a cryptocurrency, and you are backing your stablecoin in those collateral LSDs through oracles to manage the price. And of course, there is liquidation if the price of Ethereum goes lower. But basically, you are backing the stablecoin in the value of the LSDs. What are the advantages of LSDs in together with liquidity pools? We were talking about the fact that in liquidity pools you lose through impermanent loss a lot of money, but LSDs can mitigate a little bit of that problem. Why? Because if imagine that you use a LSD, but not from Ethereum, but use a LSD of, for example, a stablecoin. So basically, you have your stablecoin deposit on AAF, for example, or you have your BNB, which is another token deposit on Anchor, which is a platform that allows you to create an LSD of BNB, and you basically just pair your token with these liquidity staking derivatives. What it means, even if there is no trades in your pool, as you are pairing with the liquidity staking derivative, your pool is increasing in value, in dollar, because you are always receiving the yield. It may be higher or lower depending on the liquidity in liquidity staking derivatives that exist in the pool, but technically you are increasing in value the amount of value that you have in the pool. When great power comes, great responsibility also comes together. The advantage of LSDs led to the fast growth of the type of asset, which caused the protocols like Lido to have and Rocket Pool to have a huge power. So basically, the fact that you centralize this Ethereum in these platforms, you deposit these Ethereums in protocols like Lido, Rocket Pool, and others, that meant that those platforms became large holders of positions of Ethereum. And in centralization terms, in decentralization terms, it's not good when a person has 30% of all the Ethereum available in their possession. And that is a huge problem, in fact, when you have a proof of stake system where to approve the transactions, you need to hold tokens. That means that if they hold 50% or more, or it doesn't even need to be 50%, but let's consider a 51% attack of the network. If they hold 50% plus one, they can attack the network and just do double spendings all over the place and basically break the blockchains completely. So this destroys the Ethereum blockchain if that happens. What is the Ethereum devs and the Ethereum team thinking in doing? Instead of being a platform to mint these liquidity staking derivatives, it will be the own network, it will be native on the network, minting these liquidity staking derivatives instead of allowing other platforms to do. What will this do? This will allow the users to have the value provided by the liquidity staking derivatives at the same time that the network is protected. And these are the changes that are going to come in the future with these liquidity staking derivatives minted by the Ethereum blockchain itself. And these protocols, probably, if you are invested in some of them, I would advise you to get out because this is going to happen. So, AgentLi. AgentLi basically is a protocol, a blockchain. It's more a protocol that allows you to basically use the liquidity staking derivatives advantages in order to basically it allows you to the projects, instead of creating their own blockchain and their systems, etc., it allows them to basically manage the, how can I say this? Basically, it reinforces security basically by making a restaking concept. And the restaking concept is basically that the consensus protocol that you use is basically the consensus of the Ethereum, because you use the staked Ethereum in order to make the approval of the transactions and make the approval of the protocol. So basically, AgentLi it will be a connection that will make liquidity staking tokens a norm and a protection layer in other protocols that exist in the market. Sorry, let me just add my PC to
low battery.
Yeah, to the battery. Okay, problem solved. Just like in traditional finance, you have also indexes. And what are indexes? Basically, indexes are just, imagine that you want to invest in the DeFi world. You wanted to invest in just the stablecoins world. You want to invest just in the liquidity staking derivatives world, just in NFTs, etc. What DeFi allows you is basically create indexes, just like the indexes that you have in the traditional finance. So instead of betting just in one project, which can go very wrong, you invest in projects in a couple of projects together. Imagine that you have the DeFi index. You put Uniswap, Aave, Pancake all together, and you invest in them together. So basically, you are just creating a type of derivative that allow you to invest in a specific class of assets that exist in the DeFi. As index, you also have options, which we'll see later. Real-world assets. What are real-world assets? Real-world assets are basically the condition of assets that exist in the physical world that are brought on-chain. Basically, Imagine that you have a wine that is very valuable. Imagine that you have an artwork that is very valuable, and you basically want to use that value in the market, in the crypto markets, in order to increase your portfolio. Imagine that your artwork was worth $1 million, and what you can do is basically you tokenize that artwork in the blockchain, and you say, I want to borrow funds against my artwork that is tokenized. And if I don't pay, the person is going to receive the tokens that represent the ownership of that artwork. So basically, you are tokenizing value on chain that can be backed by real world assets which exist in the physical world. So basically you can put more value into the blockchain, which are the possibilities with real world assets. Why this is important? This is important for the sustainability of yields in DeFi. One of the problems of the DeFi is because they do not have sustainability of yields. So basically, instead of having a constant yield that you're receiving over your assets, instead of having a yield that you received by staking, and you just deposit in the platform and you receive a yield that you don't know if it's going to last 2 years, 3 years, etc. You don't know if the price of the token will vary a lot, and the value in dollar of the assets will be zero in just a few days if the price of the token goes south or something like that. With these real world assets, you have the certainty that you have at least sustainable yields. And one thing why you have sustainable yields is because at least you can go to the real world assets and take them in case someone does not pay. So that means that you can build an infrastructure of yield that are sustainable, and you know that it will continue over time. And that is what happens with T-Protocol and T-Bonds. What are T-bonds? Are the treasury bonds of the United States debt. Basically, when you deposit $1 of $1 in their debt, they issue a T-bond that is a treasury bond representative of the debt that you bought from the United States. And what T-Protocols allows is basically you deposit USDC and receive a representative of the T-bond that was issued in the real world. What does this allow you? Currently, the US debt is paying over 5% of yield. That allows you to allow the projects to basically build a sustainable yield in the most valuable debt in the world. Basically, the projects can now pay a sustainable yield if people deposit dollar in their platform, in their DeFi project. And that is one of the advantage of the real world assets. It's basically bring all the value that is built on the real world to the blockchain world. What is one of the problems? The problems is you need to rely on the person that is just issuing these real world assets. For example, for artworks, there is Masterships, I think the name is correct, who they just take the artwork, they hold the artwork, and they issue a tokenized token representative in the blockchain, which you can borrow against, which you can trade, which you can do a lot of things. There is the same for example, investments in houses, in the real estate. For investments, as you see in bonds, there is a lot of type of investment in wines. There is a lot of type of investments that bring basically the value of the real world to the decentralized world. But more than that, they do that to tangible assets, as I said, an artwork, something that you can hold, machinery, equipment, vehicles, etc. But you can also do that to, for example, royalties, rights of music that you may have. That is maybe you are not from finance and you don't know what are tangible assets and intangible assets, but basically tangible assets are the ones that you can touch, you can basically own, touch and do whatever you want. And intangible assets are more of the intellect, more something that you of the rights of something. For example, the royalties of music, etc. And you can bring these two types of assets. If you go to the real world assets, and if you bring only real estate to the decentralized world, we are talking about of $1 trillion market. If you go to the intangible assets, you are talking about music, about other things that are intangible. That is also $1 trillion market, and you are bringing all that to the blockchain. Okay, future trends and beyond. Last slide. How can DeFi break the world order? That is the question that was in the video that I manipulated a little bit in the beginning. Well, DeFi aims to build an independent system from the traditional finance and give the users the power to manage their money and assets. These may in the future go against the proposition of the government that they own the currency, that they own the currencies, that value the assets, that value the commodities, etc. If we build a DeFi a system that does not depend on, or at least does not depend in a centralized way of the real world, that means that the government will no longer have possession over the currency. That means that it's threatening the position of the government. And the question is, can DeFi break the world order by just taking the power from the government to the people in order to manage their assets, their currencies? That is some questions that we do not know. And that is some questions that we will need the time to pass to know. And some questions, a lot of questions arise from this question that is the overall thing: why DeFi was created, why Bitcoin was created. To take the power from the government, to take the risk from the banks, to take the power from the banks, from centralized organizations to a decentralized one, where everyone together can contribute in terms of finance to the development of the world. You can make loans, the liquidity staking derivatives are even some part of the fractional reserve system that we have currently in the banks. So what probably will happen is that you will have liquidity staking derivatives that will not be corresponded, that will not be pegged, that will not be connected to the asset that was minted. That means that you'll probably in the future have the same problem that you have currently in today's traditional finance, but it will not be owned by the government, it will be owned by the people. And that raises other questions. How will the people manage that value? Maybe some part of that value will be basically captured by the ones that provide more value and the ones that create more value. And that's some things that we need to take care and we need to discuss, because this can disrupt the financial market that we have today. And with this, I end my theoretical part, and I'll say that we go to the practical class without further ado, and the questions will be in the end. I don't know if you are seeing. Let me change my screen. The DeFi practical. Okay. Anish told you to have your computer ready and and one device ready for this class. What we are going to talk about is basically how to create an asset, how to have a wallet, how to borrow against a determined asset, etc. We are going to do all this in this class. So I compiled some steps for you in order to make this process go smoothly. So the first step, is go to this link, metamask.io, and I'll put it in the chat so you can go to there. Basically, what is MetaMask? MetaMask is basically a wallet. Think as this as you own your portfolio will be deposited on this wallet, and only you can manage this wallet. So you can start by making the download, clicking the download link.
Pedro, we cannot see us. We can see only the presentation, not the MetaMask. Maybe you need to change the sharing settings.
I'm just sharing the presentation. Here I can go. I can go. There, the steps are pretty straightforward. I think this first part will only be through these steps, but I can make.
Maybe if you can demonstrate on your browser, it will be also easier for.
Yeah.
Sorry, Pio. This is supposed us to download the application.
Yeah. We are.
Okay.
It's more practical now. Let me remove feedback.
So we just need to install MetaMask for Chrome, right? We don't need to download it.
You are technically downloading. If you
Okay.
let me.
Yeah, but you don't actually get a file. You just.
Yeah. Tell me in the chat if you already downloaded or had it to.
Pedro, I have the app and I have several accounts on MetaMask, but
you can create one account if you want.
Okay, so we're actually going to transact something, right?
Yeah, we are going to create a token, and we are going to create a pool in Uniswap.
So I can create a new account inside of my wallet.
Yeah.
On Ethereum, mainnet? Polygon. Okay.
Your account is created in every chain, so it doesn't matter. But
okay,
yeah, in Polygon,
which is good. It's getting higher. Thematic. So
yeah.
Nice.
You, as a second step, if you already downloaded, click the install MetaMask for Chrome. After that, you need to add it to your Chrome extension. Step 4, create a new wallet. When you get to this part, but let me go back. If anyone has a problem with, just tell in the chat. So the first step, basically follow the steps from MetaMask. Then choose your device, create new wallet. It will ask you for set up a password. You should not share this password with anyone. Then it will show you a video that you can pass forward because you are doing this step-by-step wallet. Then it will show you to store your seed phrase. Seed phrase is basically what gives access to your wallet. So do not share this with anyone. You need to put that in a paper. Don't save it in your computer. It's not safe. In this case, it's just a demonstration, so you can basically save it in your computer. But if you are going to create a new wallet and you want to save assets in there, don't share it with anyone and don't save it on computer. After you storing...
Sorry, Pietro, should we secure the wallet? Because I stopped there. Remind me later or secure my wallet?
Secure my wallet. Go secure my wallet as recommended.
Okay. Thank you.
It will show up.
I can reveal secret recovery phrase.
Yeah. You can, but do not share it with anyone. Don't share it.
Okay.
You put it in paper. You can save it on the computer for testing purpose, but then you need to create a new one.
So just to remind you, this is the same as the seed phrase, which I explained during the Bitcoin class, that you have these 12 or 24 words, and with that, all the wallet addresses, public private keys can be generated by your wallet.
To the people that already have, that already have a MetaMask, go to your MetaMask and go here at account and add a new account. You can name it as you want. To name, and this will create a new account for you on the MetaMask with a new address. After you completing all the process, sorry, after you completing all this process from MetaMask, it's pretty straightforward. Just follow the steps that are showing you. Pin your wallet in the browser, and this will show up. In the end, this interface will show up. And basically, when you reach this point, you just created your wallet. And this wallet is what is just holding your assets. It's what you are going to use to interact with the DeFi platforms. After you do that, in the chat, paste your address. Your address is this one. You can click copy and just put it in the chat. I'm going to send you.
Sorry, Pedro. Mine stopped at confirm secret recovery phrase and can't move on.
You already filled the missing password?
Yes.
Yes. Are they correct? Did you store it in order?
I think so.
It needs to be in order. If not,
That's okay. Just we can go and then I'll check it. I'll try it again when you send us your slides.
okay.
You should make sure that it's on the Matic network and not on any other, because the same wallet can be used for any blockchain. So
there is not an option to go back in your case when the confirmation page show up. I think it. Okay, we already have some people here sending the addresses. So basically, I'm going to send you a token, and we are going to add liquidity. We don't have time to create an asset, unfortunately, so I'm going to just send you a token.
need be, we can always plan for another session later on an extension of
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I'm going to send you some tokens. If anyone not understood the steps, please say something. So like,
Hi Pedro, sorry. I was disconnected because I had some technical issues, so I didn't follow up with you. I just added the extension for Chrome, and I'm
okay,
creating the wallet.
okay, you installed the MetaMask and did
No.
all these steps, right?
No, I actually just installed it, and I'm trying to make the wallet.
Okay, just send the address to the chat if you did not send yet, and I will send you.
Which address? Sorry, which address?
It will show up here, the address. It's basically the how we can communicate. Basically, I will send you to this address, which is basically your wallet, some tokens, so you can interact with some platform.
So that's the next step after I do my after I create the wallet, you mean?
Yeah, the next step
Okay.
is sending the address to the chat. So
Okay, so let me do make the wallet first.
sure.
Pedro, sorry, another question. Is it supposed to enable smart swaps? Because I already arrived at page.
Close that page. I think you clicked in the model, right? And return to this to the portfolio. I'll show you how to get back. Here in the you can see the wallet right here, right? Or maybe it's here.
No, it isn't.
In this plugin, it isn't here.
No.
What
I have now is account 1, then I have Ethereum 0 on the next select token.
Okay, you are here,
Where,
right?
You should be to the Polygon. You should go to the Polygon mainnet.
Sorry?
Where Pedro is now pointing. Can you see the mouse, Pedro's mouse on the PC?
Yes, I can. Ethereum, okay, it is supposed to press this button?
And go to the Polygon. Polygon.
Yeah.
Polygon, where is it?
You probably it will not show up. So go to this link that I'm going to send you in the chat.
Okay.
And search for Polygon here at the top. And then add to MetaMask. And then it will show you an approval in MetaMask to add.
Polygon, can you show with I don't, yeah, Polygon, and then connect wallet.
Yeah, connect wallet and then click again to add to MetaMask.
Where is it? Can't find it.
Here, don't show up here.
Yeah, yes, connect wallet. Then I pressed connect the wallet.
And MetaMask displayed the model, right?
No.
Maybe it's in the back. Click in the MetaMask. I think your MetaMask is not pinned.
MetaMask. What I have is extensions. Yes, should I press that?
Yeah, the approval. Yeah, the connect.
And then I have a MetaMask. Yeah.
And then add to MetaMask. Exactly.
Pedro, one question. I had earlier programmed Polygon and now it says Polygon Llama nodes. Is there any difference between the two?
No, I think it's just the endpoint that is different. But let me check. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same. As you can see in my screen, also I've connected to that.
Pedro, I already sent the link.
Okay. Have you connected to Polygon?
Sorry?
Have you connected to Polygon?
No.
Then go to this website that I also placed in the chat.
Okay.
Search here Polygon, just like I did.
Polygon, yeah.
Then it show up here Polygon mainnet. Click connect to MetaMask or connect to wallet. It will show up something like that.
Okay.
It will show up to approve, and then it show up again add to MetaMask, and you should add to a MetaMask also in the plugin. If you have any problem, just say. Let's wait just a little bit so everyone can do this. I'll try to create a token to see if you can use it.
I have some options like allow this site to switch the network.
Yeah. Click connect approve, something like that.
Switch. Okay, so it's connected. Yeah, it's connected.
We'll just stop sharing a little bit in order to send you the tokens. Okay. Remix is not allowing me to do the process of minting of the token. So to be more faster, I have a token. So here in the same process that you add Polygon on the chain list link that I sent you, add Binance BNB chain. This one, if you can. Sorry for the mistake.
So this is Binance Smart Chain.
Yeah. It's the only one. We are already over the time. But I think it's going to be just more 5-10 minutes.
May I ask you, please, those are applications or
These ones, this is an explorer, is to see the token, where how much tokens do you have, etc. For example, in Binance Smart Chain, I can send you the token, the link to, so you can explore by yourself.
Yeah, please.
So
Basically,
just to explain further, every blockchain has its own blockchain explorer. So it's a similar explorer for every single blockchain that exists. So you can basically check any wallet address, how much tokens it has, what transactions have been made. Everything can be seen by this blockchain explorer.
this is the transparency that I was talking about in terms of DeFi. You can see all the transfers, rules, etc., which is good to know. For example, right now, where are the tokens that I want to send you? Because it was supposed for everyone to mint these tokens, but unfortunately, we don't.
I'm not talking about the Explorer, actually. I was talking about the BNB thing that we should
Ben-
connect it to our wallet. Is it a
Ben-
tool for
No. This platform that I sent you, Chainlist, is basically a way to connect to chains. Basically, there are a lot of chains, blockchains running. Everyone can create a blockchain, but basically there are ones that are more decentralized or not. So basically, DeFi protocols run on these chains. They run in multiple chains, and we are just connecting to different chains. Basically, your wallet is where you have your assets, and you have certain types of assets in Ethereum. For example, in Ethereum, you have ETH that represents the Ethereum.
Yeah.
In Polygon, you have Matic. In BNB, you have basically, in BNB chain, you have BNB, which is basically the assets of each chain. Right now, I'm going to send you some BNB and some tokens so you can interact with this protocol, basically.
Okay, so each one, like, it represent each one of the chains that is representing a different type of or different currency, let's say.
Exactly. Inside of each blockchain, then you have another assets that are the tokens that is
Or the
minted.
tokens of
Exactly.
So let me just give a clarification here. Like we explained earlier, Ethereum was first, it was Bitcoin, then we spoke about Ethereum. Now there are several such chains existing. So there's Ethereum, there is a Matic, which is side chain of Ethereum, there is Binance Smart Chain, there is Solana, so there are many different blockchains existing, and each blockchain has its own native token. That's the currency of the creators of that chain. That is the token which is used to pay the fees for all transaction. But every blockchain other than Bitcoin, you can also create other assets on them. So you can have, for instance, in Binance Smart Chain, you can have BNB, which is their own currency, and then you can have other stable coins, any other token that can be created on top of that chain. So I hope that clears the confusion.
Yeah, thank you, more or less. Yeah.
I'm going to send.
Tomorrow we can discuss further if there is any more.
I'm going to send you another thing to do. I'm going to send you in the chat an address that is an address of the token created. So basically what you will do, it's going to here import token as you can see in my interface, and you are going to copy that address here. It's going to process, it's going to show the token symbol, the token decimals, etc. And you click next and import. And basically it will up the asset. Here, you need to go back after adding. And I'm going to send you, and you will need to reload. Now I'm going to send you.
Sorry, come again. Did you post the contract address?
Yeah, in the chat.
Okay, cheers.
And I'm sending you right now the token. MetaMask is a little bit.
So we go to BNB chain and click import tokens. Is that it? And put the contract address.
Exactly.
Well, I tried it, but it's 0.
Yeah. I'm still sending the tokens to each person.
Okay.
It's not a lot, so I'll do it manually. For the persons that cannot stay longer, understand, and we can maybe tomorrow discuss a little bit for.
So let me just explain what we basically did is we are still on the Binance Smart Chain. BNB is the main token, main currency of that chain. But this GBNB is another token created. So like you can create an infinite number of tokens. But is it a token, Pedro, that you created GBNB, or is it something
It's
that's
a token
already
that I created to save time.
okay? So this okay.
In this case, are we supposed to bring our laptops or the devices we have the accounts on for tomorrow?
It's I think it's always good to have it, but for tomorrow for CFI, I don't know if probably Guilherme is going to do a demonstration. It's not so necessary for tomorrow's session,
Okay.
but if you bring it, fine. If not, I think it's not essential.
Okay.
MetaMask available again on iOS?
Sorry?
But if you want to also try it while Guilherme is explaining tomorrow to buy a token from Kraken, because I think that's the exchange he's working on. It will be always helpful to have your laptop around.
Okay, some of you, if you reload, might already see the tokens, right?
Yeah, I already have the 10 GBNB.
Great.
Yeah.
I'll send you the link also.
I also got the 10 GNB. Thanks.
I didn't receive it yet.
Yeah, I think it's only missing 3 people.
Ah, so you are sending one by one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next class will be how to develop an API to do this on an automated way. Correct, Pedro?
There is an API, but I didn't thought that we were going to have solid data.
So let's see if this already gets some traction and suddenly this GBNB starts having some real value because there's a lot of transactions being done.
We are going to add it to Uniswap, so it's going to
Okay.
I
Just
think
for curiosity, Pedro, how much is the transaction fee for each time you're making the transaction on the Binance Smart Chain?
I think it's very low. 0.
It's very, very low. I just saw it in a glimpse when you did the last one. When you do the next one, just wait a little bit before you actually send it so we can see the gas fee. So put it there. So it's okay.
Yeah, it's 0.
0.00000. That's really low.
And the most interesting thing is that Binance.
Yeah, about
I-
3 cents.
Yeah.
I think I
Cents of
got
an euro.
now.
Sorry?
I had a problem with my computer, so now I couldn't create the MetaMask.
This is being
I'm gonna
recorded.
send.
This is being recorded, so you can follow after. And I will.
Yeah, but I think
slides.
it's this, no? I just sent.
That's
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
Adrian. That's
it's
it.
exactly
That's
that.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Welcome to the digital world of wallets.
Now you want 10 GBNB, which is an asset, but we are going to add value. I'm going to give an initial value so you understand, and then I will go send you also BNB to basically create, but I'll give you just the overview so you can do it alone. I will send you the BNB, but you'll have to do it alone, the process. But basically what we are going to do is we created GBNB, that is basically the token the asset. Imagine that GBNB is the token for the project living in the decentralized world, right? And there is, if you go here, you can see there is a max supply of 800,000 shares, and you hold 10, right? So as a project, as I was talking about in a decentralized exchange, and I will go send you the link to the Uniswap. As the owner of the project, I am going to create a position. In this case, in the version 3 of Uniswap. In this case, so basically, what I'm going to do is basically select the tokens that I want to add. I can add BNB, DAI, USDC, USDT, Ethereum, BTC. You can add whatever token you have. If you have the contract address, you can add any token. But basically, what we are doing is giving value. You understand? We are giving value to our project. That is why projects need to set up liquidity. And in this case, we are going to pass the contract of our token to give liquidity here in order to show up. It's going to show up as GNBNB. And as you see, we are going to pair it with BNB. So basically, we are giving it value, and we are stabling the value and concentrating the value at BNB. So that means that if BNB goes down, our token will go down in value even if there is no trade. Then we are going to set up the fee that is going to be charged, right? You can put 0.0% up to 1%. This is this 0.01% fee should only be for stable coins. Why for stable coins? Because stable coins does not vary a lot in price. So giving liquidity, you don't need a lot of liquidity because there will always be people there to provide liquidity to earn the fees, and the price will not vary a lot. So basically, you don't need to give so much. So in pairs that like ours, which is our token is very speculative, you need to give liquidity, and you are going to give liquidity with 1% because you want your pool to earn fees a lot, so other people put liquidity. So I'm going to set up at 1% the liquidity. And what I'm going to do is say, okay, how much GBNB for BNB I want to place. So this is in Portuguese. Let me see. There is no option to translate. But basically, here is saying that the lowest price. What is the lowest price that I'm defining the liquidity? If you remember here in this slide, let me here in this third option, you define the current price. The current price is here, but you place liquidity between here and here, and that is what we are doing. We are placing the lowest price of liquidity that we are protecting and the highest price that we are protecting. So basically, I'm saying let me put like this, maybe I'm going to give the lowest price, I'm going to be 0.01, and I'm going to be the highest price, I'm going to be 0.02. And I want the initial price of my token to be 0.00115, the BNB. So basically, when I came here and add 10, I need to put at least 0.02. But if I go 4, I need to just put 0.082 BNB. I do not have a lot of BNB here, so I will add this value. But what you are going to do now is approve GBNB to give liquidity in the pool. So basically, we are creating in the market. But remember, this is the lowest price and the highest price here of the liquidity that we are giving. We set the price here, 0.0015, and we are protecting the price at 0.001 and 0.002. So here we placed as liquidity 4 GBNBs, And we are going to see this here, and we are going to click this to add liquidity. It says that I do not have enough. Let me
Yeah,
see.
bear in mind that we don't have BNB on this account unless you start paying for it.
But you have GBNB that will have value. So basically you will be able to trade the GBNB for BNB, and you will be able to add liquidity.
So what you're saying is first we need to swap the GNB for BNB.
Exactly. But let me just add liquidity because I do not have liquidity on this wallet enough. Let me just transfer liquidity. And the transactions are approved very fastly in this network. So you may want to use, but don't forget, it's a little bit centralized. Wait. You might have already the asking. I am okay. Yes. Sorry. I'm going to add liquidity. Okay, I had the liquidity.
What you're doing at this moment is giving some value to this token, so we can
Exactly.
actually do a trade and
Exactly.
convert or create some value on the Binance coin based on the liquidity that you're doing. So you're speculating that your token is going to worth X, so we can convert it to something that is already in the market.
Yeah. If we go see here, you came here, you pass the address of the token. If you go to the chat and you pass the address of that I sent you of the link.
Right.
Pedro, I didn't receive the 10 GBNB.
Can you place your address again in the chat? So
Just a second.
Okay, it's now worth 10 GNBP, worth $1.75.
yeah. Let me just send here the GB.
So what's your idea? Is to swap 5 and keep the other 5?
No, don't swap 5 because it only has liquidity 4. So try
Okay.
0.00 so everyone can.
Okay.
Okay, sent you the 10
Let
GBNB.
me check.
Did you add it already to import it here?
I tried, but I don't know.
You click it here, import, and pass the contract, right? Is it showing up here GBNB?
Yeah.
And now,
Just a second, please.
okay.
No, it's still 0. Okay, so it's 20. You sent me twice. So
No
I
problem,
can
no
send
problem.
it back to you. Give your.
No, it's not needed. It's a fake token. It's not.
Okay.
So basically, you go here, you paste those. I'm here with the
My.
address. Yeah. So let me go back here. You put the contract here. It's going to show up GBNB, and it's going to show how much you have. You are going to trade to BNB.
Where? What is the address to put?
It's the same that you place to import. If you want, I can put again in the chat.
Yeah, please.
Okay, I already placed.
And where to go? Can you go back to the previous step just to see how?
First,
You
you need to go to the option. If it's in English, in yours should be the option pool
swap.
on the.
The swap. Okay.
Sorry, the swap.
Really swap.
It's the first
Okay,
one.
okay.
Swap. Click on swap, and then you'll see this option.
Yeah.
You click here in this place, then it will open a small screen, and
Yeah.
just paste the address.
Mine. Yes. Yeah.
It's going to show up GBNB, and
Mhm.
click there, and okay, you have set up now. And then here set
Unknown token.
sorry.
It's written that it's unknown token.
Did you press the address correctly?
Yeah.
It should show up. Maybe you have some space. Should show up as GBNB.
Zabia, you should copy what Pedro Ferreira sent at 21:52.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, the full
That's
length
exactly
of
what
it.
I'm doing. Yeah, but it's not showing. It's unknown token. That's what.
Does the address have any space?
No. It's
Oh.
exactly one
Yeah.
that you send it.
You're sure you have selected the BNB smart chain and you're not still on
right.
Matic?
Okay.
Are you here in this place? Sorry, I should have mentioned here.
No, I didn't. That's why.
You are in Ethereum, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
change to BNB chain.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And then do the same process.
Yeah.
And it should show up GBNB.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Right.
then select BNB
Yeah.
here. And
Yeah.
then you put the amount, and it will calculate if you wait a little bit. Can you hear me? I think I went
Yeah.
down. Okay. Then
0.003.
let me see how much does it charge to add liquidity.
I don't know what is.
Just wait a moment so I can give you liquidity. More liquidity. Just to see how much is the fee. It's a little bit high. You will not be able to add liquidity, but I will explain the process the same. Basically, you have here, you can make trades. Go here, put 0.1, and you can trade. Basically, what you are doing is selling the project, the shares of the project, and receiving the liquidity asset. In this case,
Where in
sell.
which area for the
Sorry?
where to put it? Just a second, because I have one screen, so I'm switching between the.
Here is to put the amount.
Yeah.
Put 0.1.
Okay.
And it will show up.
I don't have the BNB. I'm just seeing the GBNB.
Click here, and it will show up here in click
Just a
BNB.
second, please. I cannot see what. Which
Here.
where?
Here, and then here. Here.
I have only one.
Maybe you can share your screen, Zabia, it'll be faster to get a clarification.
Yeah.
Pedro, I received your 10 GBNB because I'm late.
So where
because
it
my
says,
computer had a problem, but now I'm doing this part. But I understood. Until now, everything's it's
Okay.
okay. Now I need to do that part too. So you said the
Okay, so it works, right?
Connect the wallet. Click connect wallet.
I need to connect wallet.
Mm,
Okay.
no, where in pink it says connect wallet. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
and yeah, it's right. It's like that. Then you click trades and you approve it on MetaMask. Is it showing the MetaMask?
Yeah, you can share your screen again.
Yes, I stopped.
So I think we've got a good summary about how you can create your own project, your own tokens, and use the decentralized exchange to provide liquidity to create a value. Now, of course, the value, what you put here, is not going to be the real market value, because ultimately the market will decide, buyers and sellers will decide. If there are everyone going and dumping your coins, no matter what value you put, eventually it's going to go to zero. But the beauty of this is that you can just create a project and have a market for it, which in the past, when decentralized exchange was not existing, just couldn't happen, because you needed to go and apply to centralized exchanges and convince them that please list my token. And these tokens could represent anything. They could represent real estate assets, they could represent stocks, they could represent project tokens. So this is what we are going to be studying, that like about when we take this to the real world, these tools are only tools that are being created because the future, they will have a lot of real world use cases. So you should think of it, it's like when internet was being built and we couldn't visualize what real world assets would or what real world scenario would you use a protocol, TCP/IP protocol, or HTTP protocol. So it's something like that. We are building these tools. These tools are working. Some assets are there, but new and new projects will come on, and I think that's the larger message. Even if you didn't understand the specificities of how to do yield farming, how to yield, that's something you will understand with time. But don't get too much lost in the details. Just have a look at the big picture, and then you will develop your skills with time. This is my message to a summary to all participants.
Yeah. I think the majority of the things we have done it. We didn't borrow on land. Maybe it will be another time. There will be some space to do it. But yeah, basically we created assets. We just traded. We had liquidity. We created value for it. And now you can trade it, the tokens that you have in your wallet. Remember that the wallet is where you basically keep your assets, and you should not share the seed phrase with anyone. Never. It just because if you lose your computer, you can recover your assets with that seed phrase by importing. Just like you created the account, there is an option to import the seed phrase, and it's important that you keep that seed phrase.
So basically your money is in the blockchain, but wallet is like the key. When MetaMask is a generic wallet, it can be used to connect to any blockchain. So most of the blockchains are supported, excepting Bitcoin, I think, right, Pedro? Does MetaMask also support Bitcoin?
MetaMask does not support Bitcoin yet because it only supports heavy chains, but they launch a Snaps plugin that allows to other networks to connect. Basically, as I shown in the historical context, when Ethereum allowed to program in the chain, basically code in a chain, and only that is when DeFi appeared, to be technically speaking. And the majority of the platforms only interact with EVM chains. There are other chains, but the majority of them are EVM, basically.
So EVM basically is Ethereum virtual machine. So all chains who are compatible with the Ethereum or Solidity code, and so any EVM compatible chain like Binance Smart Chain or Matic, you can literally take your Ethereum code and just paste it, and you will create the same dApp on the other chain. So this is what it is. I think, Pedro, it has been a fantastic lesson. It is the most complex lesson. I must tell that today's class will be the most difficult class. So, but at the same time, you have tried to explain very complex concepts in ways that I think was a fantastic job, Pedro. Even if you don't understand 100% everything, you'll have this to review, and you will have these videos. So I think with this we can say goodbye and get you all to have a good night's rest, so that you come tomorrow fresh. And tomorrow's session will be lighter in terms of technical details. I think it won't be as heavy as today, but this was a fundamentally important lesson.
Thank you so much and have a good night.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you,
See you
Pedro.
tomorrow.
I learned
See you
about
tomorrow.
flash loans and T bonds that I would like to go a little bit deeper. At least on the T bonds, looks like very interesting.
Tomorrow,
But guys, thank you.
tomorrow we can talk a lot about that. If you show up a little bit early, we can discuss a little about things. If you want.
Okay. Guys,
Thank
get
you.
some
Bye.
rest. Okay. See you
Bye.
tomorrow.
Bye.
See you.
Bye.